People who read a lot, which writer do you think is unbelievably good with words? Most of the comments are full of people talking about fiction, but part of what I want to do is give some examples of some non-fiction writers who have written lines into my soul. The first person that comes to mind is Bryan Stevenson. So actually, to be honest, the first person that came to mind was Dickinson, and that felt pretentious, but I can't get the line out of my head. Dickinson writes, "As lightning to the children eased with explanation kind, the truth must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind." And that's been running through my head for like the last 2.5 months. But the place that I really want to look is Priestdaddy by Patricia Lockwood, the conclusion specifically on righteous anger. "I'm not interested in heaven unless my anger gets to go there too. I'm not interested in a happy eternity unless I get to spend an eternity on anger first. Let me speak for the meek and say that we don't want the earth if that's where all the bodies are buried." I read this book because my younger sister died. I don't know how to explain that in public. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to like be a content creator about her. That's a very confusing thing for me. But a friend of hers, a very dear friend of hers, gave me and all my remaining siblings a copy of this book because they read it in high school. And one of the themes in this book is sexual violence, which is part of how she died. So this line means a lot to me, and I want to explain why the writing is good. In ways that I have been able to do, I have woven tributes to her into my videos over the last few years. You don't know this. People who know me know this, but Dr. Delston, I interviewed her for medical sexism because I wanted to platform a researcher who was doing good work to prove that the medical system is demonstrably sexist. When I cite For the Love of Men by Liz Plank, or when I cite Down Girl by Kate Mann, or The Will to Change by Bell Hooks, in these books that teach in so many ways that men need to learn to have a form of value in their own souls that doesn't come from violating other people. These are not things that are like abstract to me anymore. They are viscerally personal, and I haven't been able to like discuss it in public, and I don't even know to what degree I will do that. Something that I can articulate to you, the audience, as an abstraction and as individual people, is the fact that you have been here watching all of my videos. I now know in some sort of objective sense that I'm good at public speaking. I now know that I can explain things well. You've proven that to me, and I appreciate that. And what a strange thing it was to join my family in writing a eulogy for her, because I knew that I would do a good job of the act of public speaking about her. That is a strange thing, and I don't know how to put that into a box that makes any sense. There's the work of art in the age of mechanical reproduction, and there's the work of grieving in an age of digital replication. It's a confusing thing to decide what's private and what's public when part of your public persona is such a fundamental component of you. You read the reading that you do. I do have to wrap up this video at some point. I'm doing curriculum work at the district tomorrow. But Lockwood knows what she's doing, right? Later in the same chapter, the next chapter, she explains the way that she thinks of religious language as something that she can use even though she remains angry at the church for what it did to her and what she witnessed it do to other people. The book is set in St. Louis, where I'm from, because she lived here, and the Catholic sex abuse scandal, part of that happened here and was covered up in part by people that were here. If a little bell rang in the back of your head when you heard "Let me speak for the meek and say that we don't want the earth," that's because she's referencing the Beatitudes, right? The meek shall inherit the earth. She uses the language of religion to express anger. In fact, she goes much further than just using the language of religion in her book, right? If we are resurrected at the end of the world, I want us to assemble with a military clique. If you grew up religious, you know that she's referencing the book of Revelation and like the battle for heaven at the end of time and eschatological theology. She's making a case for the theological validity, philosophical and theological validity for anger at injustice. And I know I'm like in a serious video mode, but like, it's even better. The writing is even better because in the paragraph before, like if you've read more of the book, this is like Priestdaddy is the title because her father is a priest, and she experienced patriarchy in the form of her paternalistic father, but also she experienced patriarchy via religion through her father. And in this paragraph of her saying, right, a truce then between me and my father's house. I was not made in his likeness, but I have chosen something of his same extremity. Like, and this, she's referencing stuff earlier in the chapter that I can't get into for the sake of time. But she inherits his pastoral impulse, his impulse to comfort those who have experienced loss, his impulse to speak, what does she say? To stand over the deceased and say something. And then she finally says, and it wasn't possible finally not to inherit his anger. She is claiming the authority to speak and the authority of anger, like from her father, in this way that she's like freaking healing. The book is so good. Just freaking, just buy this book. Just read the book, bro. I've now shot like 7 or 8 different endings to this video because like making a connection to processing grief or making a connection to the current political situation. Like there's a whole bunch of different ways that I went back to this book and then did a whole other thing. But I'll just say the thing in the language in which my brain hears it, which is I cannot and will never contain the reality of the suffering that my sister went through and the joy of a person that she was in any piece of writing. Nothing I do and will ever contain the reality of any one person, right? There's no act of writing that will contain either the pain or the joy that my sister lived through and was. And the same is true for all of you, right? No, that part of what's heartbreaking is that everything that you have left of the person is less than the person. So I'll instead just end on Dickinson because we do need to contain this video, and we'll wrap it up with a little part of why the videos work is because I'm always like, how do I wrap up this video with a little intellectual sprinkle? Experience of synthesis. This is a genuine thing in learning. I should be less mean to myself. Anyway, Dickinson. Tell all the truth, but tell it slant. Success in circuit lies too bright for our infirm delight. The truth superbs. I don't have the too bright for our infirm delight. No, I had it. The truth superb supplies. As lightning to the children ease with explanation kind, the truth must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind. The emotional reality of losing a sibling is beyond what I have the ability to articulate in public in the format of short form video. I have been writing a book about it, and I have been writing a lot of other things about it. And I actually will not tell you all the truth, right? This poem, if we analyze it, right? Things are too complicated to ever explain all at once. So you got to go around obliquely and repeatedly. And like she uses the word circuit lies. Circuit lies meaning like, is it double entendre? Not double entendre, the double meaning of like lies in going around the thing multiple times, or also like repeated lies. It's great. Dickinson's great. The commitment that I can make is that I will continue to explain what elements of the truth of being a witness to someone not getting justice from the police, not getting treatment from mental health professionals, not being able to access the things that they need. I will continue to be a witness to that as much as I can. That's what I can make a commitment to at this time. Great. Thank you for listening. I want to make a video soon about C.S. Lewis and the Abolition of Man, and specifically the second chapter of the Abolition of Man, which I read on a hill in northern England in 2013. And I think about it every other month. But it's a great, it's like a real cute argument. After you study philosophy, some arguments are like, oh, that's a cute little argument. I'll try to explain it soon. Thank you all for your time and patience, and I hope you have an excellent evening, morning, or whatever. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.